منذ أدائه بطولة أول فيلم سينمائي له وهو سيد ونانسي عام 1986، أبهر الممثل البريطاني جاري أولدمان النقاد وصناع الأفلام بقدرته على التقمص التام لشخصياته وذوبانه بها. كما حصدت أفلامه ما يقارب 11 مليار دولار في شباك التذاكر، لكنه رشح مرة واحدة فقط لأوسكار أفضل ممثل عام 2011 عن أدائه في سمكري خياط جندي وجاسوس، ولم يفز بها.
وبات يلقب أفضل ممثل في العالم بدون أوسكار، لكن يبدو أن هذا اللقب قد يتغير بفضل تجسيده للزعيم البريطاني وينستون تشرشل في أكثر الساعات ظلمة، الذي تدور أحداثه في الشهر الأول لتوليه رئاسة الحكومة عام 1941، عندما كانت تواجه بريطانيا أكبر أزمة وجودية في تاريخها.
I speak to you for the first time as Prime Minister.
The Germans have encircled 60 British and French divisions. We are looking at a collapse of Western Europe within the next few days.
How long have they got if we don't rescue them?
Maybe 2 days. We would need a miracle to get our men out.
We're facing certain defeat on land, the annihilation of our army, and imminent invasion. We must negotiate peace talks.
When will the lesson be learned? You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth!
Winston lacks judgment.
He's a bully. We may have to replace him.
Have the full weight of the world on your shoulders.
Are you not afraid?
Most terribly.
You simply reduced this iconic superhuman, as we perceived him, to a human being, a fallible human being like the rest of us. Was that your goal?
The goal was to try and, you have this character who's iconic and mythologized, and you try and find the man behind this statue that's on this pedestal, and take the angle looking at him as a genius,
but a flawed genius.
Yeah, but without question, but someone with flaws and. He made his mistakes, that's for sure. He was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I guess that was the challenge.
أولدمان معروف بتغيير شكله وصوته وحركاته الجسدية للانغماس في شخصيات أفلامه، وبما أن لا يوجد أي شبه بينه وبين تشرشل، اشترط لقبول الدورة أن يستعين بفنان المكياج المعروف كازاهيرو تسوجي لكي يضمن تحولا جسديا كاملا للشخصية. كما قام بقراءة كتب تشرشل وشاهد أفلاما وثائقية عنه، وزار كل الأماكن التي عاش فيها منذ طفولته.
Apart from all the reading and we visited and we went to Blenheim and we went to Chartwell and all these other places, and you're soaking all this stuff up like a sponge. But in the footage of him in this period, and he was energized and dynamic and wasn't this old curmudgeon shuffling around. I saw a sparkle and a twinkle and also a softness, a vulnerability in the mask.
Yeah, absolutely, that comes across the way you portrayed it. But what have you discovered about him by playing him that you were not aware of?
Because of the nature of this particular production, with the clothes and I guess the transformation, if you like, of going from how I look to Winston. The thing that concerned me was stamina. You are playing in virtually every scene. You're coming in 4 hours early before the crew, then you work a full day, then you take the makeup off at the end of the day for an hour. So by the time you've decompressed and you showered and you've had dinner, your day's a 20-hour day, 18-hour day. And I did one stretch of 48 days consecutively. So you worry about one's stamina. If you, in a way, transfer that or translate that into Winston, then it makes you wonder that the stress that he would have been under, and my admiration for his sheer stamina. And I'm not drinking, so I'm not smoking in my regular life. So you've got a man who was battling with his own cabinet, wrote some of the greatest political speeches in the English language over a 4-week period, and was dealing with Dunkirk and the evacuation and a likely invasion of Britain by Hitler. He was also dealing with domestic policy because he couldn't just drop everything and only deal with one thing. The war cabinet and the war was one part of what he was doing. So you sort of just put all of that into the pot, and one's admiration for him is tenfold.
أولدمان لا يكتفي بدراسة وفهم الشخصية التي يجسدها، ولا يشرع بالتصوير حتى يشعر بها بدلا من تقليدها.
And I recall once hearing you saying that acting is not intellectual, it's feeling. How do you get to that point of feeling your character?
The only way I could describe it is you're looking for instance, at the way he sounds. And if you listen to the voice and you listen to the speeches, and that's what I started with. He has this slight speech impediment, and there's a lisp to the sound that he makes, and it comes right, and you hear that it also comes down the nose, and he's got this sort of thing. And he had this sort of thing he did with his mouth and his lip. So you're trying to capture that sensation in the mouth, in the sound, and that's what I mean by feeling it, rather than, you can't read a book that could give you that. You have to work and find it through a sensation, and that's the thing you're trying to sort of capture. So it becomes less about intellect and more about what you're feeling. And beyond that, I wouldn't know how to describe it, but
about the mask you wear and all,
yeah,
the makeup and things,
yeah.
Do they help you get into that feeling?
Oh, sure, yeah. And then, of course, you're doing a thing with the mouth and the process was, the makeup was late in the day. It came later, so you're working on the man, and you're working on the sensation or a feeling in the mouth and around the mouth. And then when you wear the makeup, you realize that the makeup is doing some of the work for you, so you have to do less with the lip. So you start to adjust, and you build, you work it that way. It's a sort of, some of it is studied and worked out, and then some of it is just that magic that happens, that you hope happens, you know.
And the magic does happen. Thank you.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
منذ افتتاح أكثر الساعات ظلمة، حصد أولدمان أهم الجوائز السينمائية لأفضل ممثل، ومن ضمنها جوائز جمعيات النقاد وجائزة الجولدن جلوب وجائزة نقابة الممثلين الأمريكية، ورشح لجائزة الأوسكار التي يتصدر التكهنات بالفوز بها هذا العام. حسام عاصي، BBC.